I've been strength training for over 10 years. Here's what I would do if I wanted to build my glutes as fast as possible with zero equipment. I'd train every other day, and in terms of diet, I'd prioritize healthy protein and healthy carbohydrates, i.e. low glycemic index carbs. Number 1, the rear lunge. Number 2, glute bridges. Number 3, bodyweight squats. Number 4, the stiff-legged deadlift, also known as the RDL or Romanian deadlift. And number 5, frog pumps. Let's get into it. Starting with lunges, specifically the rear lunge, because lunges are an incredible glute builder. They're also great for quads and hamstrings, which contribute to the overall look. I would do these in a pulsing fashion if I was specifically looking to maximize size or hypertrophy. And I would also lean my torso forward to bias the weight over my front leg. This will give a little bit more glute activation in that front leg. Main focus here should be driving through your heel in your front leg. Make sure that you're hitting full depth, as the stretched portion, which you hit at the bottom of the rep, is the most stimulating for growth. I would start here with 2 sets of 10 per leg, and then add 1 to 2 reps per week until I got to 2 sets of 15. At that point, I would go to 3 sets of 12, and then I would continue adding reps until I got to eventually 3 sets of 15. Don't worry about low volume, we got plenty to come. Also, if you're able to slightly elevate your front foot, like a step or 2 on some stairs, this will add to the stretch that your glutes in at the bottom of the movement, and again, contribute to hypertrophy. Next, I would jump straight into glute bridges, and I would focus here on pressing my hips towards the ceiling, but also behind me, kind of like towards your head, if your head were looking at the ceiling and back. If you can easily do 3 sets of 20 here, and that doesn't feel like it's difficult, I would progress to single leg and start at 3 sets of 8, progress up until I can get to 3 sets of 15 on these single leg. A very helpful form cue here is think about tucking your butt under. Imagine like a dog that's scared that's tucking his tail. Try to do that. It's called posterior pelvic tilt. That'll help activate the top of your glutes. After that, I would jump straight into bodyweight squats. Absolutely no rest in between these. I would shoot for 3 sets of 20 here and eventually progress up to 4 sets of 20. Not super important to focus on foot placement, hip width, things like that. Just make sure that your toes are generally tracking with your knees and you have a comfortable, roughly shoulder width stance, maybe a little more narrow, maybe a little bit wider. Really important that you're hitting depth here, and because these are body weight, I would say go as low as you possibly can, i.e. ATG. You can also incorporate pulsing, where you go down to the bottom of your rep, come halfway up, go back down to the bottom of your rep, and then come all the way up, and consider that 1 rep. That'll add to the burn, which will add to metabolic stress, which will add to growth. Next, I would jump into the Romanian or stiff-legged deadlift. I would cue this with proud chest, sitting my hips back as far as possible, reaching my hips back. And if you can reasonably do 3 sets of 20 here, I would move to a 1-legged variant. You can start off by using assistance from something like a wall for the stability, but eventually I would try to progress up to 3 sets of 10 on each leg for this one. So at this point, we've done quite a bit of volume, and we're going to finish it out with frog pumps. They sound weird, and they look even weirder, but you're essentially just going to do a hip bridge, but instead of your heels being placed on the ground, you're going to place the outside of your feet on the ground and have your knees outward as much as possible. They may come in a little bit as you do the thrust, but try to keep them out as much as possible and focus on external rotation at the hip. And here's a bonus, the pigeon squat. I had to add these as a bonus because they're a great glute movement. I primarily see them as a mobility movement, but as you can see here, I'm using equipment, so it doesn't really fit with the theme of this video of no equipment. But these are a really good one to open up your hips. Essentially, you're going to set up like you would a step up, but you'll bring your front leg across and then lay your knee outside of your body. So you'll sort of have your front leg with your foot pointing towards your rear leg's hip. Kind of a funky setup. These feel very odd the first couple times that you do them, but I can tell you for certain they have massively helped my hip mobility and flexibility and improved my squat and my deadlift. That's it. Here's the full program on the screen if you want to screenshot it and use it for later. All right, y'all, that's it for this one. I appreciate your time and attention as always. Couple questions. Have you liked the video? Because we're pretty much at the end. Are you subbed? I do stuff like this. There's other videos, could be useful. And if you're part of the 4% of my audience that's female right now, thank you for being here and welcome. And if you're not, you can share stuff. Maybe send it to her. Maybe this is the one, bro. All right. Peace, guys.